Rick Ross knew perfectly damn well what he was doing and what that would lead to.
What I'm doing right now, my shoulder broke, but we still getting to the money. We still counting paper. This ain't a pump and dump, baby.
About the rapper Rick Ross having the same name.
Well, the fact that he stole my name, not that we had the same name, he actually stole my whole story, my identity, the whole thing. Mm-hmm. You know, he built his career off of my legacy.
I feel bad for Lil Meech. I don't feel bad for no grown man on this planet. Like, I'm a grown man. Why the fuck I gotta feel bad for another grown man? Like, you a grown man too, nigga. You asking for my sympathy for it, nigga. You be alright. Oh, yeah, nigga.
50 Cent is living his best life right now, but not for the reasons you think. Rick Ross just pulled one of the slickest moves in the game, and it's got Big Meech allegedly putting a hit on him. Yeah, you heard that right. The streets are buzzing, and the internet's locked in like it's the wild finale of some chaotic reality show. But let's be real. What was Meech really expecting from someone who used to rock a correctional officer badge? Come on now, let's break down this madness, because the drama runs deep. So here's where it gets messy. 50's been throwing shady shots all over social media. Real slick jabs aimed at both Big Meech and Lil Meech ever since Rick Ross threw him under the bus like yesterday's trash. But the wildest part? Big Meech was out here acting like Rick Ross was his ride or die. The man fresh out of prison, and instead of showing love to 50, the one who kept it solid, Meech jumped straight into Rick Ross's arms like they were long-lost brothers or something. And the whole world knew Ross and 50 been beefing for years. Still, Meech linked up with him like that. History didn't matter. Public pictures, smiles, handshakes, it was all too friendly. It wasn't just a diss. It felt like Meech twisted the blade and smiled while doing it. 50 must have been sitting there like, seriously? This the thanks I get? But hold up, it didn't even stop there. Meech kept adding salt to the wound by linking with Floyd Mayweather, while Lil Meech out here ignoring 50 completely. Meanwhile, 50's the one who gave Lil Meech $5 million and a career that had him shining in front of cameras. So now the question is, was this all part of Rick Ross's play? Did he finesse Meech from the jump? One thing's for sure, this betrayal cut deep, and 50's making sure nobody forgets who really held it down. People love to say 50 Cent made a fortune off Big Meech's name, but let's not act like he didn't build something solid with it. He created a whole empire off that story. Meanwhile, what did Rick Ross really do? Besides treating Big Meech like he was just another pawn in his little
burn
chess
it all
game?
down. If you piss him off. His own sometimes, too. You know, he'll cancel BMF to prove a point. Regardless of how much money he makes.
Ross saw the drama coming from a mile away, and instead of backing off, he leaned in, soaking up every ounce of clout he could get. He fed that ego like it was starving. And when the fire started getting too hot, he pulled one of the oldest tricks in the book. He vanished. Right when the drama exploded, Ross popped up online talking about some mysterious shoulder injury, like we're all supposed to throw him sympathy instead of side eyes. It was almost too convenient. Mess hits the fan, and boom, Rick Ross is suddenly on injury reserve. Really? But it gets juicier. That so-called injury wasn't just an excuse to dip out from Meech. Nah, Ross was ducking his own fans too. The very same people he finessed with that shady crypto scam. Y'all remember Boss Token? The internet renamed him Rug Ross after that one, because the way he yanked the rug out from under investors was brutal. Folks were out here losing money while Ross kept it pushing like nothing happened. And get this, just days after he got caught lying to Big Meech, suddenly he's claiming a broken shoulder like the universe hit him with karma on the spot. It's all looking real suspicious. But here's the real kicker. Rumors are saying it was Ross himself who had Meech amped up, whispering in his ear to press 50 Cent for more money. If that's true, then Ross didn't just play Meech, he set him up. You seriously can't make this stuff up.
Bad guy out of all of this.
Who's the bad guy? I don't think there's a bad guy.
No, yes it is. That Vlad, let's talk about it.
I think Meech is the one that made a mistake.
No.
No? You think 50?
No.
Lil Meech?
No.
Who am I forgetting now?
Rick Ross knew perfectly damn well what he was doing and what that would lead to.
Big Meech is out here with nothing to his name right now, and the industry is treating him like he's got some kind of curse on him. People are keeping their distance like it's contagious. Even the Wingstop franchises folks thought Meech would be cashing in from. Word on the street is Rick Ross sold off most of them in secret, left him with just 2 locations, while Ross funneled all that cash into his real estate hustle. Cold move. And let's be honest, if Ross hadn't stuck his nose in Meech's business, Meech could have been making a real comeback. Instead, he kept making one reckless move after another. Then there's Lil Meech, out here dropping millions on Chrome Hearts jeans like he's competing with Gunna in a fashion Olympics.
In his career that you have any respect for?
No, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. I never wanted to work with him.
While the money was flying, they weren't watching what was coming. And now, poof, everything's gone, wiped clean. People are roasting Big Meech over how fast his so-called alliance with Rick Ross crumbled. One of the loudest voices in the crowd? Michael Rainey Jr. He didn't sugarcoat it, said straight up he doesn't feel bad for either of them. In his words, they're both grown men who should have seen this mess coming from a mile away. And guess who else was chiming in? 50 Cent, of course. He was lurking in the corners of the internet, throwing his own shots and making it crystal clear. He's not letting this one slide. Everyone already knows 50 doesn't play nice when it comes to beef. Even DJ Vlad co-signed it, saying 50 is the last dude you want to go to war with. If there's one thing he's good at, it's setting the whole place on fire just to prove a point. And the wild part? Big Meech ain't even the first to feel that heat. Rick Ross left Big Meech stranded in the dust, just like he's done to his own people before. This man really let his crew get jumped in Canada, then popped up later claiming it was all some twisted test to see how tough they were. That's not leadership, that's straight up diabolical. But honestly, that's been Ross's whole vibe from day one. Move slick, play dirty, and act innocent when it blows up.
I'll buy your masters. You ready? I will buy your masters.
Even Whack 100 had to step in and call it like it is. Rick Ross is the real villain in this whole mess with 50 and Big Meech. He saw it coming before anyone else and tried to warn folks what Ross was really about. From the jump, Ross was never a true friend to Meech. He played the game cold, hyping him up, talking all sweet about being his ally, whispering promises about business deals, money moves, and big returns. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, he was planting seeds of division, slowly turning Meech against 50 Cent. But it was all just talk, empty words, smoke and mirrors. And as much as people don't want to admit it, Whack 100 hit the nail on the head. If Ross actually cared about helping Meech get back up, he would have handled everything low-key. Quiet money, private business. But instead, Ross was out here clowning 50 online, running his mouth about how he was going to buy the rights to the BMF series, knowing full well he had no real plans to do it. Now, none of that is happening. Nothing's moving. Ross has gone ghost on Big Meech like he was never part of the plan to begin with. These days, the only thing Ross is promoting is whatever boosts his brand and lines his pockets. And guess what? Big Meech ain't part of that picture anymore. But here's the part that really has folks stunned. Word on the street is Rick Ross was the real reason Big Meech's welcome back benefit party got axed. And the wild part? He let everyone believe it was 50 Cent who ruined it. Why? Simple. He didn't want Meech stacking wins or making a loud comeback in the game. Ross made sure the spotlight stayed off Meech, and fully on himself. Rick Ross didn't want Meech shining. He wanted him stuck in his shadow while he played the good guy in public. When 50 Cent posted that now-deleted message saying, "I had nothing to do with this, please stop calling my phone. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm stronger than you think I am," people brushed it off. But now, it's all starting to click. Meech thought Ross had his back, probably because of that "I think I'm Big Meech" line in his BMF track. But here's the wild twist. What if Rick Ross didn't just admire Big Meech? What if he wanted to be him? Sounds crazy, but not really. Rick Ross has built his whole image off legendary street names. He even jacked his stage name from the real Rick Ross, a kingpin who was locked up when the rapper rose to fame. And when the real Rick Ross got out, he tried to sue. That was back in 2010, claiming trademark infringement and identity misuse. But in 2013, the judge ruled in favor of the rapper. Why? Simple. He was more famous, more powerful, and let's not forget, he was once a correctional officer. The irony is off the charts. Everything was already falling into place for Rick Ross. And get this, the judge ruled that his use of the name Rick Ross was protected under free speech. Just like that, the real Rick Ross lost the case, and William Leonard Roberts II got to keep the name. So, is it really that wild to think he tried the same play with Big Meech? He drops that "I think I'm Big Meech" line in BMF, then latches onto Meech the second he gets out, playing friendly, acting loyal. But when it came time to help him make a real comeback, nowhere to be seen, just silence. And it's not the first time Ross pulled a move like this. Back in 2021, he was name-dropping Larry Hoover like crazy, another real street legend. Word is, Ross even dropped millions to the gangster disciples just so he could keep using Hoover's name in songs. But when it came to showing real support for Hoover's release or his cause, he disappeared. People saw through it quick. Ross was out here profiting off names that weren't his while doing nothing to give back. And yeah, he caught major heat for it. To this day, folks still say Rick Ross flaked and was too scared to even show his face at that stadium. And now, same story, different chapter. No wonder 50 Cent once said he's never respected Ross, because the man switches up when things get real. And let's be honest, 50 is probably somewhere grinning right now. He didn't even have to lift a finger this time. The whole thing fell apart on its own. While he's out here stacking millions and launching new projects, Big Meech and Lil Meech are allegedly bouncing from celeb to celeb, looking for handouts just to stay in the game. And here's the kicker. Rick Ross was clowning 50 not long ago, calling him broke for not locking down a loan for his movie studio. But fast forward, and that loan just got approved. Now Ross has to watch 50 level up again, while he's stuck watching from the sidelines. Fans are saying Ross is probably out there punching the air right now, especially after that wild flex where he claimed he bought 50's masters. Looking back, that just sounds ridiculous. As for Big Meech and Lil Meech, it's clear they're learning some hard lessons, but it might be way too late for 50 to ever take them back. One person who's been sounding the alarm on all this from day one? Zip with the drip. He called it early, said 50 was keeping it real about Big Meech, and predicted Rick Ross would eventually flip on him. And just like that, here we are. The whole thing fell apart exactly how Zip said it would. Now fans are all over social media talking about it, and the majority are saying Meech is done. Like, really done. His one shot at a true comeback fumbled. You'd think after spending all that time behind bars, Meech would have come out sharper, wiser, ready to make the right moves. But instead, it's been the total opposite. One comment online summed it up perfectly. Let me get this straight. A former corrections officer flip-flopped on a guy who did time. Who could have seen that coming? Then a two-faced dude gets backstabbed by another two-faced dude? There's a word for that. Karma. And that karma came in hot, served fresh and fast. But now the real question is, what's next? Is Big Meech quietly plotting his revenge on Rick Ross? Or is he just gonna eat this betrayal and keep it pushing? Especially since there's already talk online about him turning on his childhood friend Cuff, too. This whole story's spiraling out of control. Anyway, I want to know what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is this the end of the road for Big Meech, or is there still a twist coming? And if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves the drama. Smash that notification bell so you never miss the next juicy drop. And I'll catch you on the next one.